In a fairy tale world, this is what campaigning looks like. You meet with a few friends and have a lot of fun finding one really good campaign message that all of you like. You quickly find a perfect image to go with it. You post all of this on your Facebook page. You immediately get millions of views and everybody shares it. Overnight, all your worst enemies rush in to apologize for their past stupidly bad attitudes, pledging eternal love and support in the future. Okay, back to reality. Consider this. You're gathered at a family dinner and you want to make the case for marriage equality. You look around you and meet eyes with your geeky teenage nephew, your super religious great aunt, your sweet sister. Not the right moment, right? Well, the obvious thing here is that you just can't talk to everybody at once. Some people will be easy to persuade, others not. Trying to kill two birds with one stone only works in a metaphor. In real life, every bird needs its own stone. By the way, we are against killing birds. So, a campaigner's first task is to identify who to target. You can choose to go for the easy one, your sweet sister. She's likely to support you. That'll make you feel better and encourage you to aim higher. But maybe not auntie, right? In campaigning, some people are a lost cause, at least for now. So what about your uncle? He's for full equality for women, and you know he has signed a petition for the right to abortion. On the other hand, you've heard him say really nasty things about LGBT people. You sense there's a conflict here, and with a good strategy, you might win him over. Lesson 1. A good campaign has a pathway of movable target groups. The more specific the stepping stones, the better the strategy. So now you've decided to aim at your uncle. Good, but is he likely to support full marriage equality, legal gender recognition for trans people, and affirmative action for young LGBT people of color all at once? As activists, it is only too understandable that we want all our rights and right now. But just like legal reforms don't come all at once, attitudes don't change all of a sudden, from hatred to big love. When people don't seem to be ready for the changes you want, you have to take it progressively. Steven Johnson found a good metaphor for this. Think of it as a house that magically expands with each door you open. You begin in a room with 4 doors, each leading to a new room you haven't visited yet. And once you open one of those doors and stroll into that room, 3 new doors appear, each leading to a brand new room that you couldn't have reached from your original starting point. Keep opening new doors and eventually you'll have built a palace. So indeed, we have a palace made by lots of different rooms that each represent a part of a wider change journey. The entrance hall could be, I could tolerate LGBT people around me, I guess, as long as they don't hit on me. Not a great room you would like to be in, surely, but maybe a room that your target might need to travel through before reaching rooms with more sunlight. So instead of asking yourself, how can I get people to agree with me? You may want to ask yourself, what are people's current beliefs and attitudes, and what are the possibilities for them to change at this time, given where they are now? What are the rooms they have to travel through? Lesson 2. A good campaign takes its target groups on a change journey that has, again, many stepping stones. The clearer the stones, the faster you go. So what now? Imagine you sit your uncle down and give him a full lecture on how national legislation contravenes to international human rights law. Well, when exactly did you lose him? So the campaigner's second task is to identify what will likely move your target. And this starts with understanding how their current attitudes are shaped. Attitudes are the way people feel about certain things, what people like or not, and what people find cool or not. Attitudes are shaped by a mix of several factors, like social or moral norms, beliefs, personal experiences, information, education, habits. But deep down, people hold values. These are their deepest and most precious drivers in life. Like, for example, caring for children, living at peace, feeling safe, being good to others. These values are mostly good and constructive. Unfortunately, these values can be driven by the environment to generate negative attitudes. Let's take the value of caring for children. When it is manipulated by conservatives and fueled by lies and stereotypes, this can lead to people opposing parental rights for LGBT people. But when the same value is nurtured positively, it will make people want to protect LGBT children or agree that parental love has no gender. Every day, people are exposed to lots of different messages that try to channel their values in different directions. So campaigning is actually not really about changing people. It's much rather about helping people arbitrate between these different influences. Successful campaigns have to find the ground where the values of the campaigners overlap with those of the target group, where we come together and connect. These might not be the most precious values for the campaigners. For example, the campaigners might be very attached to liberty and autonomy. On the other hand, the target group might have a very strong feeling for obedience to law and order, but both groups might really care for fairness and justice. And so that's what the campaign has to be about.